जैसा कि आप लोग जानते हैं कि हमारा चैप्टर नंबर 1 हैज़ केम टू एन एंड, तो आज हम उसकी एक्सरसाइज सॉल्व करेंगे। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चन। एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ अ बायोटिक फैक्टर इज पार्ट डी, vegetation. Which of the following processes is involved in the carbon cycle that does not produce carbon dioxide? Part C, photosynthesis. Plants are part D, producers. Secondary consumers are usually part A, carnivores. A symbiotic relationship is the close interaction between part C, only two individual or different species. Question number 2, true or false? In the past, greenhouse gases have been very useful in keeping the earth warm enough for human life. True. Plants are called producers because they produce their own food by photosynthesis. True. There are three links in the food chain: lettuce, rabbit, and fox. True. Animals only feed on either plants or other animals. False. There are always more predators than prey. False, because we have more prey than predators. Question number 3. Write these statements under the correct heading in the table given below. सबसे पहले हमारे पास है example of competition, example of predation, and example of symbiosis. A honeybee visiting a flower to collect nectar and pollen. एक हनी बी है जो कि फ्लावर को विजिट कर रही है टू कलेक्ट नेक्टर एंड पोलन, तो यह आ जाएगा हमारे पास सिम्बियोसिस में. अ सीगुल चेजिंग ऑफ अदर बर्ड्स फ्रॉम फूड इन गार्डन. ये आ जाएगा हमारे पास कंपटीशन में, क्योंकि वो एक दूसरे के साथ compete कर रहे हैं. थर्ड है हमारे पास अ स्पाइडर कैचिंग अ फ्लाई इन इट्स वेब. ये हमारे पास आएगा प्रीडेशन में. एन ऑक्स पेकर बर्ड ईटिंग ट्रिक्स ऑफ द बैक ऑफ अ rhinoceros. ये हमारे पास सिम्बियोसिस में आएगा. फार्म कैट्स किलिंग माइस स्टॉपिंग देम ईटिंग सीरियल क्रॉप्स. प्रीडेशन. लॉयंस हंटिंग जेब्रा फॉर फूड. ये हमारे पास आ जाएगा प्रीडेशन में. ट्रीज इन अ फॉरेस्ट ग्रोइंग अपवर्ड्स टू गेट लाइट. Competition. Two chimpanzees picking fleas off each other's back. Symbiosis. Two stages fighting for control over a herd of deer. It is on competition. Next question is, a large aquarium contains fish, some green plants, and fine gravel at the bottom. The aquarium is lit by a daylight lamp which is turned off at night. What gas is given out when the fish respire? Carbon dioxide. What gas is taken in when the green plants photosynthesize? Carbon dioxide. What gas is given out when the green plant photosynthesis? Carbon dioxide. The gases dissolved in the water are perfectly balanced during the day. What happens at night when the light is off? Photosynthesis process stops. Explain your answer. Only respiration will take place because photosynthesis requires light. Suggest how this might be different if the lamp was left on all the time. Photosynthesis continues at night time as well. Draw a diagram of the oxygen cycle for the aquarium. Clearly label the processes involved. तो इसकी डायग्राम हमारे पास ये है. सनलाइट आती है प्लांट को. प्लांट जब रिस्पायर करते हैं तो वो जब फोटोसिंथेसिस का प्रोसेस करते हैं तो ऑक्सीजन प्रोड्यूस करते हैं. ऑक्सीजन फिश लेती है. फिश दोबारा से कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड प्रोड्यूस कर रिस्पायर जब करती है तो प्रोड्यूस करती है. कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड दोबारा से प्लांट्स ले लेते हैं फॉर द फोटोसिंथेसिस. फिर दोबारा से वो ऑक्सीजन को क्या कहते हैं प्रोड्यूस करते हैं द प्रोसेस ऑफ फोटोसिंथेसिस. तो ये साइकिल हमारा चलता रहता है. उसके बाद नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है, अ स्टूडेंट वॉज टेलिंग हर फ्रेंड अबाउट सम ऑफ थिंग्स she observed happening in and around the local pond. She said that she had seen tiny fleas eating green algae, a heron with a perch in its beak one day and a frog the next day. Frogs and eating minnows had a small perch. Minnows eating water fleas and a perch chasing minnows around the pond. Use this information to draw a food web to show the feeding relationship between organisms in the pond. Green algae into water fleas into minnows. Minnows into frog and perch into heron. Name an organism in the food web which is a producer. Green algae, a first consumer, water fleas. Third consumer, frog perch. A herbivore, water fleas. A carnivore, minnows, perch, heron. Suggest what might happen in this ecosystem if someone add another carnivore fish to pond. It will disturb the ecosystem by eating minnows, perch, frog, and might be that carnivore fish is a predator and heron. Next question is information about a food chain can be shown by a sort of bar chart. In the diagram below, the length of each bar represents the mass of the organism at each level of food chain. The mass of living material in an ecosystem is called biomass, and the chart is called a pyramid of biomass. Which organism in this food chain has the greatest biomass? Oak tree. The lowest biomass? Fleas. Pyramid of biomass are a good indicator of what happens to the energy in a food web. Why does energy content decrease at each level of food chain? Because every step of food chain at each tracker some energy is lost as heat into surroundings so it cannot be recovered by organism. What happens to energy that is lost at each level? The energy that is lost at each level will be stored in bodies of humans, which will be used for the process of movements and other like grasses and animals. Suggest why biomass can be used to represent the energy value of each level of the pyramid. Because it serves as reliable agent for the amount of energy stock within that trophic level. If 1 gram of tree material has an average energy value of 20 kilojoule of energy, what is the energy value of an oak tree with a mass of 8 tons? So इसका आंसर है हमारे पास 1 ton equals to 1000 kg, 8 ton equal to 8000 kg, 1 kg equal to 100 kilojoule, 800 kilojoule equals to 8000 multiplied by 1000, which is equals to 8000 and 1000. 1 gram equals to 20 kilojoule, 800 gram equals 20 multiplied by 8000 equals to 16,000, which we can 16 into power of 16 into 10 power 8 kilojoule. उसके बाद हमारा इसका ई पार्ट है suggest how scientists estimate the weight of a oak tree without chopping it down. We have answered by using a method called allometry, which includes measuring the tree's diameter at breast height and its total height when inputting the values into a mechanical equations that interpret the specific tree species and its wood density. Next question is give an account of how human activities have led to pollution of water, untreated sewage, doubling of garbage, etc., the atmosphere, ozone layer. The three R's reduce, recycle are all about minimizing the amount of waste we produce, enabling us to have a positive effect on our environment. A. Suggest ways in which you can reduce the amount of waste you produce. Here are some ways to reduce waste. Use reusable bags and containers, compost food waste, choose products made from recycled materials, repair and reuse items instead of throwing them away, buy second-hand and donate gently used items. Give examples of how you can reuse the things you have rather than throwing them away. Here are some things we can reuse. Old bottles into plant pots, old clothes into rugs, old newspaper into craft projects, old glass slides into DIY jewelry. What material you can recycle? Paper, plastic, glass, fabric, organic, etc. तो व्यूवर्स इसी के साथ हमारी एक्सरसाइज भी इस चैप्टर की कंप्लीट हो गई है। हमारी आज की वीडियो जिसमें हमने चैप्टर नंबर 1 इकोलॉजी की एक्सरसाइज कंप्लीट की है। आई होप कि आपको इस पूरे चैप्टर में कोई भी कंफ्यूजन नहीं होगी। अगर आपको हमारी आज की वीडियो पसंद आई हो तो इसे लाइक, शेयर और हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना बिल्कुल भी मत भूलिएगा। हमें दें इजाज़त अगली वीडियो तक के लिए। अल्लाह हाफिज़।